forecast first from KARK-4, your weather authority.
We've been through a pretty mild week. You might even call it a pretty warm week across Arkansas, and we're in for another warm overnight. In fact, a lot of places not getting any lower than around 70 degrees, but you see a hint of what's to come. That cold front will be making its way into northwest Arkansas early tomorrow, and Fayetteville likely to see temperatures around 60 to start their day. That cold front will be making its way across the state with some areas of heavy rain and a small chance of strong to severe thunderstorms. We'll tell you where that may happen. But your forecast first for Little Rock, a 20% chance of an evening shower, otherwise mostly cloudy skies overnight tonight. We're going to start your Saturday with a small rain chance and 71 degrees. KARK-4 News at 6 starts now.
Now, from the station you count on for local news that matters, this is KARK-4 News at 6.
Families trying to get by without money as the government shutdown stretches into day 4. Good evening and thanks for joining us tonight, everybody. I'm Bob Clausen.
And I'm Ashley Katz. Good to see you. We turn now to our furlough watch this evening, where we are breaking down some of those numbers that the Little Rock Air Force Base has sustained. Take a look. The base reports at least 350 furloughs at this point, averaging out to about $37,500 in lost wages each day. And that is over $1.1 million per month and about $110 a day per furloughed employee. And the Arkansas National Guard feeling the pain of the government shutdown, and the state could soon be too, as lost revenue from missing drills add up, as well as the pain in the pocket of those furloughed guardsmen that they're feeling right now, and not to mention the hit to morale.
There's also an unspoken impact, and that's on the emotional impact of our employees who feel like they are considered less critical or not essential to the operation.
And he continues to say while the National Guard remains prepared for any sort of disaster without regular maintenance, the equipment would need much more in order just to get ready for any sort of action.
Perhaps lost in the mix in all this, the talk of government closings, the Affordable Care Act. Although it's at the center of the shutdown debate, it remains open for enrollment. KARK-4's David Goins joining us now with more on how new insurance exchanges are faring so far. Hey, David.
Hey there, Bob. The Arkansas Insurance Department did warn consumers that when the exchanges opened on Tuesday, it'd be a bit bumpy. So far, we have seen that occur, at least on the federal side. Long lines and website traffic problems on healthcare.gov. As for the Arkansas side, well, the state website AR Health Connector not reporting any outages or problems through the first few days. Now, the insurance department saying today that so far they've had more than 40,000 unique users visiting the site since the insurance marketplace opened up on the 1st.
We have not received enrollment numbers yet. Again, it's early. Consumers just had the opportunity to look at the insurance plans that are offered on the exchange beginning Tuesday. So we have an extended period of time for the enrollment process.
And that time period runs through March 31st of next year. But if you want coverage at the earliest possible date, that is January 1st, you should sign up by the 15th of December. Back to you.
Good to know. Thanks, David. And by now, the agreements between Democrats and Republicans have been well established when it comes to the health care law. The discussion continues, though, here in Arkansas, where political strategists are telling KARK's Roby Brock and David Goins that they're equally divided over what it will take to end the stalemate.
Democrats have compromised. We've compromised greatly, actually. The Senate Democrats had pushed for the House to work together to figure out the budget, and nothing gave. And we all know that the Republican Party waited for this moment. They waited for this opportunity to shut down the government.
What we're saying are there are some easy, common sense changes that we can make to the health care law that are supported by a vast majority of Americans and the general public. And we can make those very simply if the other side will just come to the table.
And you can see the full discussion with Tim Griffin's campaign manager, David Ray, and Democratic strategist Jessica DeLoach. That is happening on Capitol View this Sunday morning at 8:30, right before Meet the Press.
The trial of a former Alexander police officer charged with manslaughter continuing today, and the case is now in the hands of the jury. Nancy Cummings was arrested for shooting and killing 30-year-old Carlton Wallace while working patrol last year. Cummings said she saw Wallace walking down on Alexander Road with a gun in his waistband, which she says he tossed in the woods. Cummings says during the search of Wallace, her gun accidentally went off. So far, no verdict has been reached. We'll let you know when we get one.
A mother of a deadly hit-and-run victim gets the last news she ever wanted to hear. The man convicted in her 15-year-old son's death could get a chance to be out from behind bars. Josh Berry has the story on why this mom says just the consideration brings back all the pain, just like it happened yesterday.
My little boy was killed June 1st, 2020.
There hasn't been a day since that tears haven't continued to flow down Yolanda Shepard's face. And as much as she tries to focus on something else, the news of her 15-year-old son being killed in a hit-and-run accident over a year ago still haunts her.
All because of a sense of hate, because you were high and drinking and out driving.
Authorities say then 24-year-old Kevin Shelton was high on PCP and under the influence of alcohol when he hit Shepard's son and another teen going nearly 100 miles an hour down Roosevelt in Little Rock. Shelton pled guilty to 2 counts of negligent homicide and has been in prison on a 40-year sentence since January. But just last month, Shepard found out that could change.
This is like a slap in my face.
A letter to Shepard notified her that Shelton may have a chance for a transfer under Act 309, designed to place inmates closer to their families and increase the number of prison beds. An inmate would have a chance under county lockdown and supervision to do general labor tasks essentially in free air and enjoying the sunshine.
There's no justice in that. My little boy's never coming back. He gets to get out and wash cars and mow grass.
A freedom Shepard thinks this man doesn't deserve. In Little Rock, Josh Berry, KARK 4 News.
And now, in the day since Josh has worked on this story, the Arkansas Department of Correction tells us because of the concern over this man's transfer, his request will be denied. Act 309 is the name of an ADC program designed with the goal of alleviating prison overcrowding and also reducing costs of incarceration while assisting sheriffs with manpower. It can place inmates closer to their families sometimes. Now, the request still has to be approved by local county authorities. Inmates convicted of capital murder cannot be considered for this. And if you want to learn more about Act 309, just head to our website.
Coming up next, a new device for parents that could save the life of their children. Coming up from the Health Department, what they have in their hands that you want to learn all about.
Well, we've got some big changes on the way this weekend. We didn't see any today. It was the same as we've seen for much of the past several days. 87 the high in Little Rock, 70 the morning low. Both of those well above our averages of 79 and 57 for this time of year. Some folks will see those changes beginning tomorrow. Others will have to wait till tomorrow night. In between, some heavy rain and strong thunderstorms possible. We'll have it all in just a few minutes.
From the station that brings you local news that matters, this is KARK 4 News at 6 in high definition. With Bob Clausen, Ashley Katz, Chief Meteorologist Keith Monahan, and Aaron Peters with your Razorback Nation report.